Right, here's another video today. I run out of daylight, but I'm going to try it. If not, I might come back in the daytime and do it. It's not so much about that. It's just to give something in the background while I do my video blog, really. We're at CMHT, or Devon Partnership Trust, at the entrance. Huge building. It's headquarters for Devon Mental Health. I've been under the services here for many years. I've now been discharged from CMHT at the moment. I can't go into that. There's legal implications going on with that. But I'm here just to highlight, it just amazes me what takes place in Exeter. You only got to read on Devon Live in the last couple of months of the cases of unfortunate people with mental health who've become seriously unwell. In some instances, they've sadly taken their own lives, or their mental health has deteriorated so bad. And, you know, I want to highlight that, you know. Anybody in Exeter, you only need to go to Devon Live and see what goes on. They've reported a lot of key cases of incidents and inquests and stuff going into that. More help, more robustness with mental health care should have been in place, you know, and it just hasn't been. This has come from inquests. So it begs the question, what's going on here? Well, I could go on all night. I haven't got the time to do that today. But I've been a victim of it here many times. And up the other side there is a place called the Place of Safety. This is in partnership with Devon Partnership Trust and Devon Cornwall Constabulary. So it's sort of joint between the police and mental health. In the instance of a mental health crisis and you're very unwell and unstable, chances are you'll end up here. And the Place of Safety is up this way to the left, and it's a horrible place. It's already got an atrocious track record of its performance figures here. It's on Devon Live, it's on the internet, it's free to find, it's not hard to find this information. And you know, it needs to be looked into, and the only way it's going to get it looked into is to highlight what's going on and what takes place here. You know, what's happened to me is a tip of the iceberg. I'm sure it goes on with a lot of people. You know, when you're mentally unwell and you're in crisis, you're clearly unwell, yet the behaviour from the staff in the Place of Safety is atrocious. You wouldn't treat an animal, a penned up animal, like they do. They're horrible people. They have no empathy, they have no understanding, and if you dare to stand up for your rights, you'll be punished for it. I will leave that for a later video. I have to think about what I'm going to say on that, but I can assure you what has taken place is unacceptable. It really is truly unacceptable. What else? Yeah, it employs a lot of staff here. There's a lot of staff here, and there are a considerable amount of staff here even in the evening. You know, all these vast offices and buildings, apart from the Place of Safety, which I don't rate at all, it's a very unpleasant place. There needs to be something else, you know, like some kind of, and it's not the moorings round the back, because the moorings round the back just doesn't work. Either make that more robust or add a third service, you know. People passing by. You know, they need to add something here. There are people in this building 24 hours a day, you know. All right, it's a limited crew of staff, but there are staff here nonetheless. Why can't they have something more robust than the moorings in place, which would give people that supported help they need? Mental health doesn't work to a time scale, you know. Often a lot of people in mental health crisis is in the evening or early hours of the morning. This revolves around sleep problems with their mental health, you know. It's horrible. There needs to be something else here, because if not, this place is going to continue to fail people's mental health and put lives at risk. You know, there must be something else they can add. There's plenty of room and offices in this building. There's no shortage of space, you know. The moorings doesn't work. It needs to be updated, done away with, and something else put in place. And maybe that will give someone that extra option when they're in crisis late in the evening or early hours in the morning. If not, they all end up being channeled to A&E, police cells, and all the rest of it, and it escalates. Most of the time when people are picked up by the police in a mental health crisis, it's escalated. It's gone too far. Clearly that's why they're being picked up by the police, for their own safety and the safety of others. But often than not, as the case, there's just nowhere for these people to go. There's nowhere for you to go when you're having an absolute mental crisis at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't think A&E is the right place, And what goes on in A&E is just site liaison. They just assess you and they decide, oh, you're okay, you can go back out. What happens when someone goes back out after being assessed of being suitable and stable and they harm themselves or other people? This is well documented. This is easy enough to find on the internet. There have been many cases where people have been assessed here and allowed to go back out on the street or allowed to go home. They then deteriorate into further mental health crisis of self-harm, suicide or isolation, overdoses, etc., etc. They become desperate, I just wish there was more. I really do. I'm getting frustrated now, so I'm going to stop this video. I may redo it. I'm going to have to review it and see how it's come out. But there's so much stuff I can mention, I am so angry at these people, so very angry, because the truth needs to come out. If you're a family and you've got a teenage son or daughter or a brother or a sister or your wife, it's everybody in mental health crisis. You hope and you live in hope that there's going to be good, robust support and help for them, which takes the burden off you as a family and the upset and the heartache what often comes with mental health. It needs to improve.